What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Instant Replay. This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley, with our guy, CC, Chris Claybon. CC, what is going on, my man?
Nothing much, man. Great week. I feel like we got some hot topics on this one.
We do. We got stuff to talk about today. Talking about Club Shay, super messy. Cam Newton getting into a brawl. Got Reesa, Teesa. I mean, just the phenomenon. It's just, we'll get into that. I don't even want to blow that high. And then the whole court storming. What's going on with court storming? Should they ban it? Should they not? I just want to remind everybody again, thanks everybody for joining us. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, tell a friend, but more importantly, leave a comment. Everybody does a great job in the comment section on the live, but go outside and make comments on the actual video. That's what helps the algorithm. That'll help keep pushing us out to a lot of people. We love it. We love you guys. We appreciate the support. So let's get into this.
Let's do it.
So, first off, Chris, Club Shay is just getting super messy, bro. What is the deal with Shannon Sharpe, man?
Man, I think you only need one person to go on there and get the kind of notoriety and the views that Cat got, and it became the place to spill the tea. You know, and that's all it's become. It's go on there, tell all story, vent on everybody, and it's taken as gospel. People spend weeks trying to refute what you go on there and say. So it's a one-sided, lying fest, and it's insane. It's insane.
Well, the thing about it is I think he's got to be careful because it's starting to turn into that's all he's going to be. Is people going on? It's like the Black Jerry Springer. Come on there, let's tell stories. Let's get it going. I'm like, gee, many Christmas, what is going on here? You know, it's just Cat Williams and Monique, and it's crazy.
Yeah, his journalistic credit is rapidly going downhill. Although I did love the Johnny Manziel interview. I did, and there's some topics like this guy's coming out, he's owning it, he's accountable. He's telling us, we all wanted to know, right? The question we really all wanted to know is how hard Johnny Manziel went in college. And it's crazy. When you talk about going to Friday Friday walkthrough, trying to sober up, that he was sprinting to the end zone trying to sober up. That is insane if you think about some of the games he won versus Oklahoma and Alabama and such. So, hats off to him for going on there and being honest. Give the man his Heisman or back or whatever. Give him his money, his NIL deal, everything they criticized him for. But Shannon is really not doing any interviewing. He's turning them loose off of one question and letting it be a one-sided diatribe.
Correct. Correct. Well, the thing about Johnny Manziel, which you're right, I loved hearing the stories. I don't feel like on his special that was on Netflix, I don't think they got deep enough. So I'm glad he went out there and kind of answered some more questions. But what I didn't like is he's snitching. Yeah. Why is he snitching on Kevin Stoneman, saying that the coach is out there partying too? See, that's why I don't like Johnny Manziel. He's out there snitching on people.
For a quick topic, B, though, we gotta have a quick poll. Would you rather have that dry snitching or just straight up snitching, where they're calling it by name? I think the dry snitching that we've been seeing, in social media is worse. It was like, and some of those coaches were out there too, and now everybody's way more vested in how much did they know, what was really going on, versus just come out and calling people by names.
Yeah.
It's refreshing, It's refreshing. But, in the last three freaking trips, we've had Johnny Manziel, Monique, Cat Williams, and then I think you said Usher was in between there. Nobody cared about his because he didn't talk about anything messy.
No. And people love messy. That's the thing. Right. Everybody loves messy, man.
And that's going to go up to our third topic up there. People love it because we all got a little mess in our lives, and we feel a little bit better if everybody else got some too. Yeah. But man, if Usher had gone on there and say how he was going to feel on Alicia Keys' booty on the Super Bowl, we would have tuned in. Or we'd have said, hey, look, Usher, whatever happened to that possible STD, from the 90s, right? we would all watch that, but turns out lowest views in history.
Yeah, and then we say that it was like 1 million views or something like that, where the other ones are 55 million,
Right.
28 million. You know, the thing about Monique, though, that first of all, Monique gets on my absolute last nerve, and she said the same thing that she's been saying for a decade, attacking Oprah, Tyler Perry, then Lee Daniels. She threw in Kevin Hart this time. Everybody's always at fault when it's against Monique, and it's never her fault. Her and that crazy deranged husband of hers who thinks he's, you know, the world's greatest manager, has basically managed her out of a career. You know, and that's how I'm just tired of Monique.
Well, I mean, what you do is you go on there for 40 minutes and try to do as much name dropping and clickbaiting so they can chop it up the best they can. And she eventually will tell on everybody. And here's the good thing. True or not, she's going to get clicks. Or I won't say the good thing. Here's the thing about it. True or not, like I watched it and then I was like, wait, that's not true. You know, like,
yes.
I'm never getting that 40 minutes back. But yeah.
Never.
Club Shay needs to bring somebody on. You know, he talked about getting Obama on. And I think that would, first of all, he's not going to go down the, the hot mess express, as April just put in the comments. You know, he's not going to go down that. You know, he's going to keep it highbrow. He's going to talk about some topics and some subjects, and he's going to, more than anything, require Shannon to ask more questions.
Yeah.
You can't just say, so what's been going on, Monique? And then she just goes, he's off for 45 minutes. Right. So, no.
I mean, first off, for him to get Obama on, he's going to have some reputable guests, several in a row, before Obama's going to come on, in my opinion. He's not going to be able to do that.
He can segue with some late night comics that will stay on topic, that'll challenge some topics, and some thinking, and then he could build a more reputable stage to bring on even more credible people. But right now, he may need to stay out of the community for a second. And I feel terrible saying that, but boy.
It's the truth.
It's the truth, my goodness.
But I love it because people are, and I think people just like Mike Epps, hey, bring me on the show, man. Bring me on the show. Let me say something. Let me get on there. Let me be a part of it. I think people are beating down the door to get on Club Shay.
Yeah, because I mean it's instant 50 million views. And if you get on there and reference Cat, you doubled your money. So no, Shannon needs to, stay away from putting any more sugar in the Kool-Aid because the folks got diabetes, if you know what I'm saying. So he needs to stop.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, it's wild on what's going on. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like the mess. I said, but sooner or later, I just don't want him to be this Jerry Springer / Maury Povich of talk. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. Get some more guests on. Get some more stuff. Although you are right about Johnny Manziel. I did like that interview, and we all love Cat. We love the mess. I just don't want it to just be mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Manziel was wilding.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't just walk out here with 7 bands. And I'm like, man, I got to be honest with you. It's 70 bands in Miami's tough. Johnny Manziel turns out to be a better man than all of us because I wouldn't have made it back with 70 bands.
Yeah, so absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, let's press on, my man. Let's press on. What's that?
I said, let's do it.
Okay. So moving on to the next topic here. Let's see. Cam Newton. Cam Newton got jumped. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what went down. Because at first of all, those were some little men. Because when I thought it was a bunch of teenagers that jumped him. And come to find out, they said, no, 2 of them were coaches. I'm like, oh my goodness, these guys are little individuals. I'm like, so what is going on here? Second of all, if you saw them jump Cam Newton, I was like, you're doing absolutely no damage. Chris, there was no time when 3 people are jumping this. There was no time that Cam Newton was not handling all 3 people. There was no time where he was in any danger, no time where he wasn't in full control. One of them he had bent over like a rag doll. He was carrying guy as he walked over to the. I'm like, this backfired on you guys immediately. Like immediately backfired.
Yeah. His hat didn't even come off. But I'm
No.
upset. I'm upset with the people who attacked him for several reasons. Number one, we know what Cam is. He goes to these camps. He gets everybody fired up. He does a little joning on people. You got to be able to, you got to be able to take it.
Yeah.
Also, you got your tail kicked in. Teaching people to lose is part of the game. But Buddy's right. His hat didn't even come off.
It didn't.
In any threat whatsoever. But where I'm disappointed in these people is take a butt whipping on the field, leave it on the field. Why are you testing a guy who's out here doing this for the kids? And then also, between you and I, Brian, man, get a better plan. What was your plan?
I have no idea.
Oh, he's 3 years removed from the NFL. Let's just walk up there. I went to 24-hour fitness last week. Me too, dog. They were getting. I mean, thank God he still fights like a quarterback, right? Where he's trying to protect his hands. He did a lot of grabbing and no punching. Quarterbacks never punch. No. The old Jonathan Beasley, get out of my huddle face mask grab. But man, he was mopping those guys. He was throwing them into each other. It was insane.
Well, the thing for me, Cam's a better human being than I am. He is absolutely a better man than me because he had one of those guys and there was that railing. I thought he was going to break the guy's back. That's what I would have done. You're going to jump me. I'm breaking this guy's back. Somebody's going to have to pay the price for jumping me. Cam was nice about it. He was very, very nice about it. For me, my mother said, when you fight, there's only one rule in fighting, and that's to win. It doesn't matter. You got to pick up a stick, a brick, break somebody's back over a railing. They must have been asking for it, clearly, if they're trying to fight. They were asking for it. And like I said, two of those were grown men, Chris, just getting picked up like a Cabbage Patch dog.
Ragdolled. And, I do have to go back to something you said, the breaking somebody's back over the railing, pause. But now we can continue. So, you got to remember the only reason Cam, spared these guys is when he got to the NFL, they go through all those classes. You can't do the same thing to people that people want to do to you, all that kind of stuff. So that's what is in the back of Cam's mind is had he whooped them any worse on film, they would have gone after him for money, So yeah, mega pause. But yeah, so they'd have gone after him for money. So
definitely got pause here. Dudes forget Cam used to drag 300-pound D lineman for 4 extra. Y'all seen Cam's legs up close? First of all, the answer to that is no. And second of all, quadruple pause.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in seeing Cam's legs up close. I'm not interested in that. Okay.
Cam's got gams, I guess is what Darren is saying, but pause. Darren, you're on your own on that one, buddy.
Yeah. You're on your. But the bottom line is, why are people testing Cam? Why are they doing it? Everybody is coming for him, all because he said Brock Purdy was a game manager. Now everybody's coming out of the woodwork, coming after Cam, testing Cam, and this is the epitome of that, where they're like, you know what? We're just gonna fight Cam and just see what he's all about. And they got a whole bunch of what Cam was about. It just, again, no plan, Chris. Or if they had a plan, one of the worst plans I've ever heard of.
Everybody's got a plan until you see how big he is in person, right? But, on a much sadder part of that is the guy's trying to do this for kids. You don't see people running out and attacking Eli Manning, and he is hot garbage. So why can we never be as respectful, to our athletes as we are to other people? So that was a little bit of the sad part. I did have my fair chuckles on it, and I'm like, man, this doesn't happen at Eli and Peyton's camp. This wouldn't even happen at Brock Purdy's camp, which I guess is probably $5 to get in at this point, or Dak Prescott's camp where they pay you to go just so it looks like there's somebody in attendance. So we got to respect the guy trying to help the kids out more than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the kind of the sad part about it. You're right. It's just, I'm just trying to figure out what happened that would cause you to fight Cam Newton. Was he talking trash, too much trash because his team beat yours? I mean, he put on the tournament, so you wouldn't even have been there if it wasn't for him. So what caused you to think, you know what, this is a good opportunity to set a bad example for all the kids that I'm there coaching? Yep. What did he do? What did he say to make you want to do that? And it can't be anything because there's no good reason.
Yeah, to Cam's I won't say to his credit or to their credit, because you're right. There's no ever reason to put hands on somebody, and that was a terrible plan. But Cam is a next level trash talker for a quarterback. When he
Okay.
was getting into practice, fights in practice with DBs, if you ever remember those mic'd up and he can jaw with the best of them. But I'm just saying, you're a parent of a kid out there. This isn't your opportunity. This isn't your window. What are you
Mm,
trying to prove? And
mm.
then
Speak on it,
well,
Chris.
and if you are trying to prove something, I can whoop a freak of a nature of a man, like Davy Gill said. Man, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
So
And that's the whole thing, is that what were you just trying? What was the ultimate goal? I mean,
right,
did they really think they were going to whoop Cam? Is that what
yeah,
they thought, that was going to
yeah,
happen? Everybody makes bad decisions. Look, we
yeah,
all are guilty of making some bad decisions, but I would
yeah,
just think twice. You got kids there. The place is full of not only your kids you're coaching, other kids. The majority of people there were kids, and you're going to try to fight this man that puts on a tournament to try to help kids.
yeah,
It's ridiculous. Like I
yeah.
said, everybody
Yep.
can disagree with Cam's opinion. I
Right.
disagreed with Cam's opinion. Everybody everybody can disagree with his opinion. But to literally physically attack him or think that it's okay to attack him, at some point, we got to draw the line. And like I said, Cam's a better person than me, because I would still be fighting that guy if they wouldn't have broken it up. You can't
There,
just jump me. 3 guys jumped him. And again, he's just
well,
holding people around, pushing people around, carrying a grown man,
right.
just carrying him
Well,
under his arm. It was
well,
ridiculous.
let's start with let's stop there. You wouldn't still be whooping him because there wouldn't be nobody left to whoop because it was so one sided. He
Yeah.
had the reach, the strength, the speed advantage. Rebecca Ellis said, "What's Cam's end game?" I don't know why he does talk so much trash. So shame on Cam for that. But quadruple shame on grown men attacking the guy putting on a cam on a camp. So
Well,
you
I
know,
think Cam's end game, that's a good question. What's Cam's end game? He's got a podcast. So
yeah,
that's why he
yeah,
keeps talking and saying the stuff that he's saying. He's trying to get the word out there. But also, I know people say that, and I just said it, that could actually be what he really feels. Like, he may actually
yeah.
believe all of that. And if he
No,
does, more power to him. It is what it is. We can't, but he's also tries to say, hey, I played, so I'm the person who you should believe the most just because I played. And I'm like, hold on now, Cam. Don't go
right.
too far. I go, we get it, and we all respect you because you played, but that doesn't mean you know everything about football more than the next guy. It doesn't mean that.
Yeah. So, Darren's back here talking about, he curled Josh Norman off the ground in Carolina. He's 2-0. I'm giving him 3 victories for the 3 people that rushed him this last weekend. So he's
No,
5-0.
nope, nope.
He's 5. No, that's just
All of
one.
them added up, Chris, was only one man. You saw the side. All of it. You can add all 3 of those dudes up. They were one man. They were one man. They were
Or
5'9",
was
like a 102.
you and I both know what the combine and pro day does to your measurements. So pause. But Cam being 6'5", 250, he really is 6'5", 250. A lot of people running around here saying they're 6 foot or 5'10" and 5'9".
Yeah,
So he's
exactly.
just a real 6'5", and they look that small.
Yes.
So, and to some of the other points, some people want to take on Cam in the comments, on the virtual box, and that's the only place you want to touch him. Trust me,
Yeah.
he's still only, how old is Cam? 32?
No, I think he's like 35. But
Is
he's
he
not. I
really?
mean, he's not old. That's the thing. They act like Cam is 100
Yeah.
years old or something
Yeah.
like that. He's not that old.
No, just because he's been out of the MVP race for a while, he's not out of shape. Yeah,
Look at
a lot of
Buddy
pauses.
Claybon in the comments. Lots of pauses. This comments. That
A
would be
lot of
CC.
pauses.
CC is on a mission. Apparently, you're on a mission for the most pauses we can get on this podcast. What is going on with you, my
Man,
man?
Darren's over there talking about he's got nice legs. That ain't on me. I'm just here to
Oh,
clean
I
it up.
got it. I got it.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
you're
move
right.
it
You're
on.
right.
Let's move it on.
We're just here to respond to the people, Chris. We're
Yes,
just giving the people what they want.
absolutely.
Speaking of giving the people what they want, that is an
Yes.
excellent segue in this Reesa Teesa phenomenon that has just taken over TikTok, taken over the country as a whole. Here's my take, and then I'll let you have it. I don't even think that this is it's just a dude that was lying. Okay. And we know a lot of dudes out there that lie. Okay. He was lying to get draws. We know a lot of dudes out there that were lying to get draws. Okay.
Okay.
Apparently, she must have thought it was good because she let him move in after a month. They're living together. So whatever his lie was, okay, he's giving it to her the right way. She's loving it. All of a sudden, his lie breaks down on her. Okay. So that's what happens. But you know what? Now she's going out and spilling all the tea. I don't like it. I'm on his side. I'm Team Legion. I am Team Legion all day long.
Wow.
Damn this Reesa Teesa. I don't want to hear it. Go ahead, Legion. You gave it to her the right way. She couldn't deal with it. Everything fell apart. Hey, nobody said you had to trust me. Nobody said you had to trust. But the reason you did, you know why the reason she trusted him. He was giving her that old Legion, and she loved it. That's my take. That's my take.
For everybody out there, this may be the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, Big B and I get into a lot of arguments, but CC might be going solo after that take.
Nope.
Insane.
Nope.
Now I'm not a Reesa Teesa sympathizer or anything, but let's first of all talk about what it is. This is an online dating story gone horribly wrong, and this guy turns out to be the worst guy in the world. So it's great that she put it out as a warning story and kind of a call out to all the lies that can be told. But in the same vein that we're talking about Club Shay, it was so popular because this is what the people wanted to see. I mean, no more than we all wanted to watch Squid Games when we were on lockdown and had nothing else to watch. Everybody was tuned in. She literally captivated the entire, American or world audience at this point. So let's talk about it, what it is. It's a pretty good story told by a pretty good storyteller, and it was all the trash that we wanted to hear because there's nobody sitting at home, even with the worst dude, that doesn't feel a little bit better today. Your man drives a forklift. Her man drove a forklift but said he was a VP. You know what I'm saying? Your man is going to buy you a BMW. Maybe he bought you a used one. Well, he never bought her one and claimed it was in a warehouse. Like, this is, at the end, the guy is pissing in Powerade bottles by the bed, just rotting away under the weight of his own lies. He's got a twin brother that he's actually faking like he lived the life of that he hasn't talked to in 5 years. It is a flat-out disaster, and what have we learned from anything? We love to watch disasters. We love to watch people's lives melt away. She's calling the cops, which is no one's talking about that, in the community. That's a no-no. We don't call the cops on each other. She called the cops, watch him get arrested from across the street, And sure, the guy is a pathological liar. Suzanne's on there talking about that. It's insane. But
hold on. Do we know that he's lying?
Yes, absolutely.
Do we
I'll send you
know that he is lying?
I'll send you a hot 15-minute recap of it. It is insane. His twin brother doesn't talk to him. His sister didn't talk to him. He got 3 more divorces than he claimed to have. But what I'm mad that I gave this series any of my time.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
I gave it to my time. Oh my God, the bank statements, reverse Google search, pulled up the bank statements. If that's all it takes, I'm going to the club and I'm gonna be fanning myself saying that I got millions of dollars. Oh, but Legion. I mean, first of all, and here's another thing.
I'm Team Legion, man. I'm Team Legion, Chris.
Here's another thing. His family doesn't talk to him. Nobody talks to him. He gets arrested. He's got all these prior charges. But
this is just what she said.
If she really wants to put him on blast, say his name. You met him on 2 different dating apps. What was his name on both the apps? Why are we watching this disaster? And then, the very next video she did after she closed the series out, because just like I put a little shame on Cam Newton for trash talking in a 7-on-7 tournament, little bit of shame goes on her, not for lying or for being a victim of any of his shenanigans. She needs to say she got She got catfished. She needs to say, ladies, if it looks too good to be true, it is. Wait, if you saw her video, no offense, I hate to go here. She knew she was fishing out of her league, She
I
knew
mean,
she was.
I'm not going to say that part
Oh,
of it.
man. Come
All
on.
I'm going to say is Legion gave her that Legion, and she couldn't resist. Let's just call it what it is, Chris. He gave her that Legion, and she couldn't resist. And nobody wants to talk about that. Then what really probably happened, he's giving the Legion to somebody else.
Right.
And she found out. Now she's bitter. Now all of it, because everything he was probably doing all of this all along. She knew all about it, but as long as he was just giving her that Legion, she didn't mind.
Nah,
and then all of a sudden he started giving it to somebody else. Now all of a sudden, well, he's the bad. Who the fuck did I marry? Blah 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 blah. I'm Team Legion. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Every time she sleuthed, it turned up something different. And you're right. She is partly, guilty of being, a prisoner of Pound Town at some point.
Yes.
But, and to Ryan Elledge, thank God you weren't captivated by it. In fact, just skip this because it's 500 minutes. You're never going to get back. Or you can watch the 15-minute, quick recap. The lady's an incredible storyteller. But like I was going on this other thing, my flaw to her was the next post after she concluded the series, where she never called his name and never got serious about what he did, is she posts how she didn't make any money from TikTok while having the entire nation captivated. And I was like, you know what? She loves the attention. And that's how she got, and that's how she got there. Not victim blaming, but this isn't a lady that there's a lot of domestic abuse going on. He's just lying about his job. And first of all, I got to touch on this one since we're a sports topic. He had money left over from arena football. Baby girl, you're in Atlanta. Everybody played arena football. They don't have any money left over from that. Even in Arena 1, I think it's $75 a year. You got another job at Foot Locker. That's just common sense. Now, again, never blame the person getting lied to, but gullible is gullible. We used to have Saturday morning cartoons with a gullible character in it, and we used to all laugh. So yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I mean, you're right about that. That again, she said, I don't know anything about Arena League football. Well, but she did know about professional football and University of Georgia. Well, my whole thing was, well, then if you don't know anything about arena football, there's a reason for that. Right. There's an absolute reason, because nobody's watching. Nobody's paying attention. I go, so clearly he don't have no money. And if you believe that, again, I think she did. I'm not coming off my story, Chris.
Okay.
I think she did. And I think she just loved getting that Legion. And because Legion was giving it to her the right way, she was willing to forgive everything, let go. And then, you know what? All of a sudden it goes bad. Now she wants to spill the tea. I don't like it.
The gullibility and the stupidity knows no bounds. Because if you have arena football money in an offshore account, right? You know what I'm saying? First of all, you don't know anything about offshore accounts, let alone anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, So, no, again, those of y'all that don't know anything about it, I'm going to save you 500 minutes or at least a 15-minute recap. It's a crazy online dating story, and move on. There you go.
No. I feel like if I had to waste my time, everybody needs to waste their time. Everybody needs to know exactly what was going on here. Everybody needs to dig in. But do yourself a favor. Give yourself time. Because you're going to get into it. You're going to, I mean, hell, I made myself popcorn. I was watching it so much. I'm like, let me get settled in and dig into this a little bit.
Find a quick recap. Save your time. Get back to Johnny Manziel talking about 7 bands. What am I supposed to be doing with 7 bands? I can't go to Miami with 7 bands. I'm just thinking about what I would have done for $7,000 in college. Just about anything. Hella pause on that. $7,000. Don't binge it, Ryan. Don't binge it. You're good, buddy.
I don't want to say what I would have done for $7,000 in Manhattan. First of all, $7,000 in Manhattan, Kansas in 1997, 1998, 2000. I mean, you know how far that would have went? You know how much Ron Rio I could have
Yes.
drank
That's
with
so much
7,000. My
McCormick.
God.
Yeah, that's so much McCormick and Pizza
Woo!
Shuttle. It's
Yes.
unbelievable.
Oh, Pizza
It's
Shuttle,
going
Lord
down.
have mercy. They'd have had, I mean, we'd have had it for days on end. Oh, Pizza Shuttle, give me a break. But yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm still Team Legion. I'm not getting off of that. And y'all can call me whatever you want. You can say I'm a hater or this or
Yeah.
that. I don't know that the story ain't true. That's all I know. I don't know that
Yeah.
the story's not true. And I believe Team Legion. I believe
Yeah.
Team Legion.
That's the first good thing Darren said all day. If I had 7K in Manhattan, we would have had them chains I had on, wouldn't have been Amazon specials. They would have been 14 karat minimum. You know? Shoot. Dookie ropes. You guys remember Dookie ropes. But now let's press on, big dog.
So, court storming. I mean, here's the thing. I was part of a court storming when I was in high school. Okay. And I was on the opposing team. Well, actually, two. I was at home and away. There wasn't a single person that was interested in getting in my face or anything. They just wanted to run out there and celebrate that their team won. That's my take on all of this. Society has changed. Kids have changed. Now they want to get their phone out. They want to put it in somebody's face and yell, "You lost," and be in somebody's face about it versus just running and going and celebrating. That's what's happening. That's the difference. I go, even when we were in college, they stormed the field. They let teams get off the field. That's not what they were trying to do. They just wanted to be out there and celebrate. Now it's, hey, look at me. I'm going to put this on Instagram. I'm going to put this on Facebook. I was in some opposing player's face and he can't do anything because if that kid does react, and one of these days they are going to react, it's going to be a bad day for that person.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know. And this is one of those things. Like I've been a part of a couple of them, been on the field when a couple of them happen, and I don't understand it. And this is one where I might need people to help me out. Like, I don't know what the whole allure is. I'm not into banning it. I'm just like waiting for that phase of it running out where
well, you played, Chris, so we don't have that. We don't have that allure. We
it
played.
ain't cool. It ain't it. What are you doing? You weren't part of the victory. What I get it. If maybe I don't know. Like, what are you running out on the field for? Like
to celebrate.
I mean, even when the whole goal was to take down the goalpost, at least you had a goal. I don't know. And I've watched the Duke kid push the kid, and I, of course, watched Caitlin Clark's over dramatic, almost LeBron-ish.
I mean, that was ridiculous. Oh,
but
gee,
I don't get it. And I think that what we got to do in this day and age when everybody wants to go viral and put a phone in somebody's face or be a part of something, I think we just got to make it not cool. Like, I mean, I cannot think of one single event now or ever that I wanted to run out on the field. And I grew up, I was a big old Oklahoma Sooner fan as a kid, sitting on my little rug, and hey, there's some Orange Bowl victories. And I'm thinking, if I, winning in the Cotton Bowl down here against Texas,
yeah, but
no time would I have wanted to run out on the field. Like,
yeah, but that's different when you root for the team. That's different. No, the team isn't running out on the field. It's when you beat that team. That's
right.
who runs out on the field. So as an OU fan, you're never going to run out there because you're always that team. I go, just like Ryan Ellich says, back in the day, court storming was cool and was done in worthy cases, the big games. Well, right. But if you are the big game in town, you're never going to run on the field because even when you win at home, you're supposed to win. So I get that aspect of it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing anything like that. The problem that I have is that it's the people that want to run and get in somebody's face. People are saying that the kid from Duke pushed the kid, and I think that he did. However, you only see him push the kid when it's slowed down in slow motion. He's walking to get off the field, and the kid runs in his face in an instant. Well, if you're trying to protect yourself, what do you do when you're trying to protect yourself when somebody's running at you? You put your arms up.
Looking for that.
Immediately what you do.
We're all looking for that hot take, that viral moment, and what we're forgetting is these people just lost a game. And,
correct.
That's what I hate about the reporters. And it's they're running up to kids. Now that I'm at this age, Those are children. They're younger than my kids. We're running up to kids for this hot take. How do you feel about what just happened? Well, I just lost the game, maybe with a buzzer beater or a Hail Mary. Like, I'm not going to respond, in the right way. And that's almost what they want. They
Yep.
want you to respond because, these kids are being coached and their media presence is so well. They're like, no, I want to get that. I want to get as close to the zoo animals as I can. But wait, don't remove the glass because, I don't want them to put hands on me.
Or you can remove the glass, but if he reaches like he's going to touch me, you have to shoot him and kill him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jason Rutledge is right. 2% of people will mess it up for everyone. I was saying that earlier today to my wife. I said the exact same thing. I go, because it's not everybody. It's just a few people that are look at me, and that's the situation. It's, you know what? I'm going to get out here. I'm going to get in front of this. I want to put this on Instagram. I mean, I don't know if people saw this. Think about the OU Kansas football game this year. They beat OU the first time in forever. They stormed the field, blah, blah, blah. But then you see on Instagram, and it was everywhere, this KU fan is standing less than 2 feet away from this Oklahoma football player. Got his hand in his face, phone in the other hand, calling the kid a loser. You're a loser. You lost, blah, blah, blah. My whole thing about that is you don't know what that kid has gone through. What if a family member had died earlier in the week and he's out there playing? You don't know anything about what he has gone through. And you do that, and then he reacts and beats the shit out of you. Then what?
Right.
Then you'll want to blame the athlete and say it's his fault. He needs to have poise. He needs to have some restraint. I'm like, no, hold on a second. Why are you in his face? You want to run and celebrate and be on the field? I'm all for that. Why are you getting in somebody's face? That's my whole thing, because the one thing that I know for an absolute fact, if they're not on a football field and they're at the bar, are you going to be in that guy's face there yelling and saying all those things? Maybe you are, and you're drunk, and then you get your ass beat. But you think that you're protected on the football field, and it's only going to take one time, Chris. It's going to take one time where they're off in the corner and somebody is pummeling somebody because they've gotten in their face, and then maybe some of that will stop. Just maybe.
Yeah, I mean, could they stop the other part of it? Maybe they don't serve alcohol in some of these arenas. Oh, no, we're not going to do any of that. We got a fine, great comment, a fine for touching the players and coaches. How about a fine for just going on the field? Let the players clear out. They can open the gate. You can rush the field.
But they do fine them, though. They do get fined. Everybody gets fined. The schools don't care. They fine them like $100,000. $100,000. They make that.
I'm not talking about the school. I'm talking about the kids.
Well, what kind of fine are you going to give them? You can't get everybody at a football game.
Well, if we're only doing the people who touch people, that's a place to start, right? I mean,
but how do you know?
I mean, how are you going to know? We now have 4K video.
You'll never be able to find that. There's way too many people at a football game. You're not going to be able to catch everybody.
Okay,
you can't do that.
We got to start somewhere, and maybe it just starts like Rebecca says. Start with the people that are touching people. Start with the people that run into people. Hell, with all the money they're making, maybe put some more security out there. I don't know. Why? And here's the thing: why don't we do it at pro games? Right? Are we not that vested? Is the crowd that much more mature?
Well, they used to. They used to. Remember, I know everybody's seen that video, the 84 finals, when the Celtics beat the Lakers and Larry Bird is just barreling over people to get into the locker room. Remember, they used to run on the floor. Right. And now I think but here's the thing. At an NBA game or an NFL game, there's so much more money involved. You can hire enough security. And those people are going to shoot you. You know who's at a college game. The college game is the guy that was at the dorm across from you that they hire to be security. Like, who's he going to stop? I go, that's part of the problem is that, you got Johnny over here being security. Again, 5'9", 102 out there trying to be security. Well, that doesn't work. It's not going to work.
Yeah. No, and, there's a comment that says forfeit the game for the team that storms. That may be a little severe, but you know what? Start with a technical or a penalty at the next game And trust me, it'll get real uncool to storm the court if it costs the team some performance way. So, you know, I'm blown away by the poll. 81% of people said no. Well, not a bunch of replies, but I say yes. You know,
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can ban it. I mean, first of all, it's part of the college experience. That's number one. Are we trying to take away college experience?
Sitting in the student section, knowing the guys sitting next to class, going to house parties with them. You know what I'm saying? Wearing fake gold chains like Darren used to do. That's part of the college experience. You know,
college experience.
You know what? You
want to is storming the court or storming the field.
No, man, this is one of those ones where you're looking for that pomp and circumstance and nostalgia on a dated concept that's also dangerous and kind of dumb. So I'm out on storming. I was out on storming.
Now, I might have a jaded perspective on this because we played at a university. They stormed the field. I was there twice. In 97, Colorado, which I don't know why they stormed the field because Colorado sucked. But
right.
Whatever. And then
right.
And then in 1998, the first time we beat Nebraska in 30 years. But from my perspective as a player, I got on all this football gear. I was out there with the pinchers. Okay, I was looking for booties to pinch, booties to grab and walk away, and nobody was going. Hey, that's Brian. That's right. Hey, okay. I'm just grabbing booty. I'm grabbing booty.
What do you think about this? 98 is a home game.
Yes.
So different. you're the king of the castle.
That's right. It was different. It was different. You're right.
Also, they came there to tear those goalposts down. Those goalposts beat us down to Aggieville that night, right?
They did.
So that's different. You're the home team. But I'm sorry, that even makes it dumber because I always felt like, again, I grew up in Oklahoma, OU fan, until I went to Manhattan on a scholarship, that Nebraska wasn't an unbeatable team. In fact, I argue we probably were better in 97 and just got off to a terrible start.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey.
I mean, they couldn't tackle Amon Green.
I know. Well, 96, it was the kid that replaced him when he had turf toe. But, you know, my biggest thing is, the pinchers got us. That's wild.
Yeah,
I'm out there. Also, hey, for the record, folks, he didn't say what kind, so I got to say pause. But I'm sorry. I still thought it looked bad in 98 when they did it. It was cool because if I remember right, it's a little bit of snow going on, and the uprights beat us to Aggieville.
Right.
But no, it looks like you didn't expect to win. It's kind of the whole be there before or carry yourself with a little class, and maybe I'm the old man shaking my fist at the clouds. Yeah. But it's kind of
it's fine if you're the team that wins, that always wins. You're not storming the field, but when you're not, then it's a big deal. It's just a big deal. It just comes down to this. If kids could just keep their hands to themselves, not act like idiots, and just go celebrate, and if they can find a way to get the kids off the court, then fine. I'm fine with it. I don't think they need to do anything. It's to me, it's part of it. It's part of the experience. And first of all, they tried to act like this kid got really hurt. He didn't. That was all made up. But secondly, when have you heard of anybody getting injured in any of these court stormings? Like, when have you heard that, somebody got hurt storming the court or the field? Never. It's never happened. So everybody that throws out the argument, it's for their safety, well, nobody's gotten hurt. Now, granted, that doesn't mean that nobody can get hurt.
Right.
I don't want to say that it can't, but it hasn't. And they've been storming fields and storming courts forever. And yet nobody's hurt. So that's my point of view on it.
Sometimes things are dumb enough to where you can ban them before something bad happens, right? It's just not that. You're like Davey Gill said, it's just a matter of time. Sometimes it's like, man, we can see it all coming, and it only takes one time for somebody to get hurt, and you're like, they got hurt over nothing. They got hurt over something so stupid. So just stop the stupidity now. There's my hot take.
I guess. I don't know. I like it. I like court storming. I think it's great. So, but some people don't. I admit, but again, I had my pinchers out. So I had alternative motives. I was out there. So, well, hey, man, we're going to shut this one down. I appreciate everybody joining in. Again, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, instant replay, Big B and CC. We appreciate it. Who won tonight's instant replay?
Wait a minute.
Big B, 66%. I mean, I just look. All I do is come out here and give facts, people.
You know what I'm feeling? I'm closing the gap, though. Next week, looking for a 50-50 split, folks.
No, it's never going to. The gap's going to get wider. Pause. Yeah. I don't know if that is a pause, though.
No.
Oh, okay. But anyway, thanks, everybody, for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Again, do us a favor, subscribe, like, and more importantly, make comments on the actual video. We appreciate everybody showing up. We will be back next week. Hopefully, we can do it better, man. Aloha.